It's not a real good test because standard doesn't like hanging out in the far left lane. I kind of appreciate that it's getting over without being so aggressive, even in hurry mode. Oh, gotta go, gotta go. That was really too slow. It's nice to see that it knows that it needs to stay in its lane. If it were perfect, I would be asleep in the back seat right now. Good morning. We're having good times today. I left the house at 66%. I'm doing my, well, we don't want to see that. I'm doing my Coldwater route. I'm going down to Galesburg, then down to Coldwater. Then I'll hit this supercharger in Marshall, and then I'll go to Bedford. It's Battle Creek, but whatever. And then back home. I think we're looking at 240 miles today, something like that. It is 68 degrees, supposed to get up to about 84. Decent summer day. Left the house at 66%. Kind of a crazy week I've been having. Sorry, the videos have been slower than normal, but I've been really busy lately. And something's got to give, so unfortunately, it's the videos that take me hours and hours to edit. Got a new software version. I'm sitting at 2025.20.6. FSD version is still the same. I'm using hurry mode with a 20% offset. I could let the car do all this instead of doing it myself. We can go now. Perfect. Anyway, it should be a nice, easy day. A mix of highway and city driving and rural driving. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoy the ride. First place is an hour and 5 minutes. It's 60 miles away, and I should get there at 44%. This is going to be interesting. There's a car in my blind spot. I have to get over in the right lane. The car's already at its max. Now, we're going to go behind him, and there's a car coming up. Yep, they're probably not happy. And we should be behind this person. That's freaking wild. Car's being super rude now. As a human, I would have stayed in that lane because I know that it goes on until the next exit. I wouldn't have gotten stuck between this car and this semi. But the car's proclivity is to drive as far to the left as possible, so it immediately jumps lanes as soon as it can. After we pass this truck, we should get over. There's someone on our tail. That car is plenty far ahead. See, the problem is, as soon as I realize that the car is not going to move, the car behind me is sick of my shit and has passed me anyway, because that was them. People say I'm using hurry, and that's the reason the car's a butthead at these merges. So I put it down in standard, and it's not a real good test because standard doesn't like hanging out in the far left lane. Now, see, this is a good thing. In the past, the car probably would have gotten in front of this SUV before getting over, but now we're just, all right, it's time to get over. Because we were going 84. The car could have easily passed this person before we got to our exit, and it would have been fine. I kind of appreciate that it's getting over without being so aggressive, even in hurry mode. Should be in that lane. It's not going to make it. And it does an illegal move to make it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeesh. Well handled. Very well done. So same thing as a semi or garbage truck, except no blinkers this time. Usually just pull straight ahead, stops where those flags are. And no different today. So I will come park. I will go park. That wasn't too bad of a drive. On the highway, that first leg, we spent most of the time in the passing lane. The only times it got out is when I put us down to standard and when it was forced over by construction zones. Other than that, I didn't care. There was at least 2 people that rolled up on my bum and then passed me in the right lane, which is not safe. Let's see, I got here at 47%. I believe it said I was going to get here at 44. The reason is because I only used 215 watt hours per mile that trip. That's insanity. Let's see, that was 62 miles, took me an hour and 8 minutes. It's now 71 degrees according to the car, 67 according to the watch. Next place is 47 minutes, 50 miles away, and it says I'll get there at 29%. So let me knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, I'm all done in there. I am sitting at 46%, lost a percent while I was in there. Next place is still 47 minutes, 50 miles away, and I'll get there at 28% now. That's not too bad. Start FSD button is disabled. I am going to stop looking at the screen and start looking at the camera above the rear view mirror. Oh. It usually gets it. Driver requirements are not met. I'm going to look away and then look back. There it goes. I don't get that, but whatever. Off we go. Should be clear after this truck. Oh, gotta go. That was really too slow. All right. Now, the thing about this car is if it's pulling out in front of somebody and it realizes that it's pulling out in front of somebody, it should mash the accelerator. You know? That was kind of a blind corner. In fact, that was kind of a blind corner. The car should have realized that, oh, something's coming. A human would have said, holy crap, stepped on the accelerator and gotten out of the way. But that's not what the car wants to do. First time the car got out of the passing lane, and it only did it to pass, which is messed up. It thinks it's 60. The only reason I noticed is because it said max was 78. I'm wondering why we weren't passing this person. All right, I'm gonna pop it back up to 84 as my max. Because that's where it should be. That is one wheel press. I was going to be impressed. Hey, we got over. But no, it's to take the exit that's coming up. Did this correctly this time. Of course, there was no cars that were going slow in front of the Tesla, so it didn't have to pass anybody. It's nice to see that it knows that it needs to stay in its lane. So last time we came through here, it jumped over those chevrons and passed I think it was a pickup truck pulling a trailer or a U-Haul or a mobile home maybe. 70. It's right there. Caught it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're still only doing 72. That's pretty odd to me. There it goes. Guy walking in the middle of the street. There you go. Still would have given him a little bit more room, especially with a dog. You don't know if that dog's gonna try to attack the car. He is taking up a lot of lane. I probably would have stopped too, or driven in the grass. I don't think the Tesla's gonna do that. Oh, this is where it wants to leave me, eh? Let's go park. All right, that was 51 miles. Took me 44 minutes, used 242 watt hours per mile. So far, I've driven 113 miles and used 228 watt hours per mile. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Supercharger is 25 minutes, 25 miles away. It says I'll get there at 19%. It's claiming that I only need to charge for 5 minutes. We shall see. Yes, we shall. Anyway, I'm going to knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, I'm all done in there. Sitting at 27%. Supercharger is now 26 minutes away, 25 miles, and I'll get there at 19%. There's somebody walking. Car's not moving. As soon as he's out of the way, we'll see if the car goes. Oh, yeah, as soon as he left, the car went. Still claims a 5-minute supercharger stop. So that's cool too. It's so strict about stop signs. Actually, I don't think it got down to 0. So I'll give it props for that. I almost pushed on it there. The car couldn't see the light because the semi truck was in the way. And then the light was turning, well, it was yellow. It was going to turn red. And I wasn't sure if the car was going to just not go, but it decided to go, which is amazing. But because we took so long, the van behind us got kind of upset and went through the red light too, which is kind of funny. Nice job getting out of the passing lane. No need to be there. There was no one behind us, but it moved over, and that's great. Okay, there is no way to test. Oh, look at that. I was going to say there's no way to test if standard or chill would have done this any differently, because if I put it on standard or chill, it would just jump over to this lane. So when I get comments saying that the car's in hurry mode, that's the reason why it's being so aggressive at merge points. I mean, yes, they're right, but they're also not right, because the car wouldn't put itself in that position. And it's very hard to find the situation where the car could be in standard but stuck in the passing lane when a merge point was coming, and test to see what it would do. My theory, based on my experience with the car, is standard or hurry, doesn't care. If it's going to get aggressive with trying to get over here, it's going to get aggressive with trying to get over here. What I love the most is everyone tells me, well, you've got it set to hurry mode, so it's your fault. Like the Tesla is infallible. It's not perfect. If it were perfect, I would be asleep in the back seat right now. I believe this is a 250, so it doesn't matter which stall I take, but out of habit, I always like to leave space between myself and the next car. All right, I'm going to get juice and I'll be right back. 4 minutes remaining to continue trip. That's pretty awesome. All right, I'll be back when this is done. All right, all done. I tried to get some work done. Didn't work, but I massively overcharged. Surprise, surprise. Now I'll get to the... now I'll get home at 36% instead of 10. But whatever. Not a big deal. Oh, right when I was going to hit it. Next facility is 24 minutes, 16 miles away. And I'll get there at 57%. I was going to go hit the button and it dimmed. So let me look out the window. And there it goes. This is crazy. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm only taking over here because I did not want to get in that cop's way. $70, max 72. It did that max 72 last time. The max should be 84. So I'm going to fix that. See, even this is wrong. 55 should be 11 over, so 66. But it's got its max set to 72. And even that is wrong. 45 is, max is set to 66. Now 60. What's going on here? Now 54 as it should be. It always tries to park, but it always does it poorly. This is where I would park, just not like this. So let me fix it. Okie dokie. That last leg was 20 miles. It took me 25 minutes. I used 229 watt hours per mile. So far today, I've driven 158 miles. I'm going to add another 64. Take me an hour and 13 minutes to get home. I should get there at 35%. I got here at 56. Doing pretty good today. Doing pretty good today. All right, I'm going to knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, that took a little bit longer than I expected. I don't know why I expected it to be shorter than that, but whatever. I'm sitting at 53%. So let's do this and get out of here. Of course, I forgot to cool down the car before I came out here, and it is boiling hot. Surprise, surprise. Exits that way. I don't think there's another one over here. We'll let the car do what it's gonna do. I figured it out. Cool beans. So it wanted to turn right out of the facility, which is probably why it backed up to turn right out of the parking spot. That's my guess. That's one of those keep an eye on it things. See, this is what's killing me. If it thinks it's 45, why does it say it's maxed to 60? 20% more of 45 is 54. But again, we're doing over the speed limit, and our turn is 0.2 of a mile away, so no big deal. It's just odd. I had my fiance send an address to my car so that the car would navigate there. You basically go to Google Maps or wherever and share it, and then you pick the Tesla app, and it'll share it to the Tesla app. Since she has the app on her phone and my car is part of her app so that she can use it, she could just share it with the app, and it'll just come to my car, and it rerouted me there seamlessly. I didn't have to push anything. It just suddenly went there. I noticed that it said full self-driving may be degraded, and then I saw the map jump. I tried to figure out why, and that was why. New leg is 1 hour and 5 minutes. It's 54 miles, and I'll get there at 30%. Give you an idea of how much energy the car uses for air conditioning. I'm in the 300s. It was at like 360 a second ago. I just turned the air back up to a reasonable temperature because the car started to cool down, and it's dropping. But yeah, 360 watt hours per mile is what I was using just because of the AC. I was at 227 or something earlier today. It's wild what that does. And it's a heat pump too. It's not even that energy intensive. Basically, if you're trying to get somewhere and you're low on battery, first thing you should do is either turn off or increase the temperature of the AC. That is one thing I will probably never get used to in the Tesla. Since the car is driving, it doesn't have feelings, so it doesn't have that sense of panic when the light changes from green to yellow. And I know it knows that it's got enough room to make it legally. Like, it'll make it to the intersection before the light turns red. But as a human, my first instinct is always to just ensure that I get there by going a little bit faster. This car will never do that. Was it an Amazon truck back there? We gave it enough space to get around it, but we didn't give it enough to make the human comfortable. I would like to give them more in case dude jumps out of the driver's side of his car. That's what I was taught in driver's ed, and that's what I'm used to now. Give them enough room to clear an open door as well as the car. Speed limit 30 ends, so it's 55 now. Still doing 35 with a max of 42. This one I'm not going to let stand. I'm going to bump that up to 66 where it should be. Oh, I love this turn, especially at rush hour. Yeah, there's a bunch of people trying to turn left here. It's a great time for the outro. Wow. I drove 223 miles today. That's not too shabby. That last leg was 64 miles. Took me an hour and 10 minutes. Well, it'll be 65 miles. It'll take me an hour and 13 minutes, whatever. Use 220 watt hours per mile that leg. That's not too shabby considering I had the AC cranking and it was using tons of energy at the very beginning. Today I used 233 watt hours per mile. Still very respectable. Today's drive was not too shabby. Touched the wheel a couple of times, but it was all speed issues. There was one time I took over because the car was going to change into the right lane to pass slower traffic when it shouldn't have because the cop was pulling somebody over. If you liked it, like it. If you didn't like it, dislike it. If you think somebody else would like it, share it with them. And if you really liked it, hit subscribe to see more. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns, leave them down below and I'll get to you as soon as I possibly can. As always, thank you for watching. Deuces.